Guys, are you ready for our new lesson for today? It's all about multiplication of integers. Let's go. Multiplication of integers. We have three objectives. At the end of the lesson, the students should be able to state the rules for multiplication with integers. Second, perform multiplication with integers. Third, solve problems involving multiplication with integers. So we have some terminologies to remember. One is factors, and the other one is product. So we will have to define this terminologies later. All right. Now, for multiplication of integers, this is simply like a repeated addition. Okay. So, for example, if we have 2 times 5, so meaning to say there are 5, 2, or there are 2 of 5. Okay. 5 of 2s, no? Okay, 5 of 2s. All right. So this is equal to 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2, and that's equal to 10. So meaning there are 5 2s. Okay. Next example is negative 2 times positive 5. So meaning there are 5 of negative 2. Or, okay, so this is equal to negative 2 plus negative 2 plus negative 2 plus negative 2 plus negative 2. The product is equal to negative 10. So I mean to say multiplication is simply a repeated addition. All right. Now, 2 is 1. Negative 2 is 1. And 5, okay, so we have 2 5s, are called factors. These are factors. Okay. While 10 and negative 10 is 1, the product, and negative 10. So 10 and negative 10 are the product. So meaning to say, when you multiply all the factors, you can get the product. Okay, let's have example. 2 and 5 are factors. When you multiply 2 and 5, the product is equal to 10. Okay, when you multiply negative 2 and 5, of course, the factors are negative 2 and 5. The product is equal to negative 10. Okay, so let's go to the next. Multiplication model using repeated addition. Okay, by using the number line. So meaning to say, we can model the multiplication of integers using the number line. Okay, for example, 2 times 5. Okay, so we have this number line. 2 times 5, meaning there are 5 of 2s. Okay, so starting from 0 to 2, that's 2 units. 2 to 4, another 2 units. 4 to 6, 2 units. 6 to 8, 2 units. And 8 to 10, another unit. So we will count the number of units from 0 to 10. So definitely this is equal to positive 10. So meaning 2 times 5 is equal to positive 10. Okay, positive because these are positive, so going to the right. Next, we have this example. Negative 2 times positive 5. Okay, so we'll start from 0 to negative 2, going to the left. So from negative 2 to negative 4, another units, 2 units. Negative 4 to negative 6 is 1. Another 2 units to the left. Then we have negative 6 to negative 8. And another unit from negative 8 to 10. So meaning this is equal to 10 units to the left, or this is simply negative 10. So meaning negative 2 times positive 5, this is equal to negative 10. All right. We can generalize that positive 2 times positive 5, the product is equal to positive 10. Okay. Next one. Negative 2 times positive 5, the product is negative 10. Okay, what can you observe between the two products? Okay, positive times positive is equal to positive. Negative times positive is equal to negative. All right. Now, this is the generalization. When two positive integers are multiplied, the product is positive. That's why we have this example. 2 is positive, 5 is positive. When you multiply the two, the product is equal to positive 10. All right, so take note of this. Positive times positive is equal to positive. Another one, when two integers with different signs are multiplied, the product is negative. Again, when two integers with different signs are multiplied, the product is negative. So meaning, if we have negative 2 and positive 5, definitely the product is negative 10. Or negative 5 times positive 2, the product is negative 10. We know that positive times positive is positive. And negative times positive or positive times negative, the product is negative. The question is, what is the product when we multiply two negative numbers or integers? Okay, so just take a look at this pattern. 0 times negative 2 is equal to 0. Positive 1 times negative 2, the product is negative 2. Positive 2 times negative 2, the product is negative 4. Positive 3 times negative 2, the product is negative 6. And so on and so forth. Okay? So as we go along, meaning when the one factor is positive and the other one is negative, so definitely the product is a negative 1. Okay? But if you have this negative 1 times negative 2, positive 2, negative 2 times negative 2, positive 4, negative 3 times negative 2, the answer is positive 6. Meaning, so when we multiply negative and negative, the product is always positive because the pattern will continue. Okay? All right. Based on the observed pattern, what do you think is the product when you multiply negative 4 times negative 2? Okay, so when you continue the pattern, what should be the product when we multiply negative 4 and negative 2? Answer? Obviously, the answer is positive 8. What about negative 5 times negative 2? Answer? Positive 10. What about negative 6 times negative 2? The answer is positive 12. And so on and so forth. Okay. Rules for multiplication of integers. Okay. These are the rules. So you have to take note of the rules. Number 1, or if A and B are integers, so meaning A and B represents any integers, then the product of two positive integers is positive. So you have to take note of that. Positive times positive is equal to positive. That is A. When A is positive, B is positive. When you multiply two positive integers, the product is always positive, which is AB. All right, number 2, the product of two negative integers is positive. Again, the product of two negative integers is positive. Okay, so meaning when you multiply two negative integers, the product is positive integer. That is negative A times negative B, the product is positive AB. All right, so let's go to number 3. The product of a positive integer and negative integer is negative. Again, the product of a positive integer and a negative integer is negative, or product of a negative integer and a positive integer, the product is negative. Okay, so opposite in sign, when you multiply two integers with different signs, definitely the product is negative. Okay, that is A times negative B is equal to negative AB, or negative A times positive B Still, the product is negative AB. All right. Number 4, the product of any integer and 0 is 0. So this is 0 property for multiplication, right? When you multiply any number to 0, the product is equal to 0. Same with the integer. Okay, that is a times 0. A represents any number or integer, so the product is equal to 0. Number 5, the product of an integer and 1 is always an integer. Again, this is the property, multiplication property for 1, right? So the product of any integer and 1 is still the integer. So 1, because 1 is the multiplicative identity. Okay, so that is A times 1 is equal to A. Okay, so any question? A skill enhancer. Find the product of the following. This is a sort of enhancing your skill if you really understand the lesson or not. All right. So we have, I think, 9 exercises. So we're going to perform multiplication of integers. We have negative 5 times 2. So meaning negative 5 and positive 2. What's the product? By applying the rule. This negative times positive. Definitely this negative. 5 times 2, 10. So negative 10. Okay, so negative 2 times negative 7. Obviously, the answer is positive 14 because negative and negative, we said a while ago that when you multiply two negative integers, the product is positive. What about positive times negative? Positive 5 times negative 11. Definitely the product is negative. So 5 times 11, 55. So negative 55 is the correct product. Next, 100 times negative 7. This is positive times negative. Obviously, the product is negative. So 100 times 7, that's 700. So negative 700. Next, negative 3 times negative 7. Same sign, multiplying same sign. Obviously, it's positive 21. Next, 15 times negative 4. Okay, the product is negative. 15 times 4, 60. So that's negative 60. Positive 6 times positive 7. Obviously, this is 42. Positive 42. Next, negative 5 times negative 10. Of course, the product is positive because we have two negative. So 5 times 10, that's 50. Positive 50. Next, this 0. Obviously, this is 0. Any number multiplied to 0 is equal to 0. All right, so any question? All right, let's go to the next. Multiplication expression with more than 2 factors. What about, what should be the rule if we're going to multiply more than 2 factors? Okay, we know that multiplying 2 factors or negative times negative equals positive. Positive times positive equals positive. What about more than 2? Multiplication expressions with more than 2 factors. How do we get the product if we have more than 2 factors? We know already how to multiply integers with 2 factors. What about more than 2? 3 factors, 4 factors, 5 factors. Do you have a rule for that? Okay, let's take a look at some example. Example, negative 1 times negative 3 times positive 2. We can apply the associative property for multiplication, or we can associate negative 1 and negative 3. So get the product. The product is equal to negative 1 times negative 3, of course, positive 3. Okay, times 2 is 1. So obviously the product is equal to positive 6. Okay, so let's go to another example. Negative 2 times negative 3 times negative 5. Okay, this is equal to negative 2 times negative 2. Negative 2 times negative 3. The product is positive 6. And positive 6 times negative 5. The product is negative, that's this one, negative 2 times negative 3, 6. And you multiply to negative 5. So multiplying the 2, the product is equal to negative 30. Okay, so next example, positive 2 times positive 3 times positive 3, all positive, the factors are positive. So the product is equal to positive 18. Okay? Next, 5 times negative 1 times negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 1. All right. So, this is equal to 4. Okay, why 4? Because negative 1 times 2, that's negative 2. Negative 2 times negative 2, positive 4. Positive 4 times negative 1, negative 4. Okay? Next. Negative 1 times negative 2 times negative 3 times negative 5. First, negative 1 times negative 2, positive 2. Okay, negative 3 times negative 5, positive 15. Positive 15 times positive 2, of course, that's positive 30. Okay, so another one, negative 1 times negative 1 times negative 1 times negative 1 times positive 1 is equal to, all right, so negative 1 times negative 1, positive 1. This one, negative 1 times negative 1, positive 1. Positive 1 times 1, positive 1 times positive 1, of course, the product is positive 1. All right. So to conclude, here's the rule. If the number of negative factors are even, the product is positive. Again, if the number of negative factors are even, the product is positive. Let's say, for example, this one. How many factors do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 5 factors. If the number of negative factors are even, so meaning these are negative factors 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 is even. So therefore, the answer, the product is positive. Okay? If the number of negative factors are even, the product is positive. Okay, that's rule. Next, if the number of negative factors are odd, the product is negative. Let's say, for example, this one. Negative 2, negative 3, negative 5. So there are 3 negative factors. So when we count the number of negative factors, 1, 2, 3, 3 is odd. So expect that the product is negative. All you have to do is to multiply the numbers and count the number of negative factors. 1, 2, 3. So it's odd. So meaning it's negative. Negative 30. Okay, that's the rule. Okay, so any question? What about this one? Negative 1, negative 2, negative 1. So there are 3 negative factors. So there are 3 is odd. 3 is odd. Therefore, the product is negative. So all you have to do is to multiply all the numbers and count the number of negative factors. If this odd, negative. If this even, positive. Okay, so any question? Let's go to evaluation. Fill the missing integer. All right. We have, I think, 10 examples. Now, negative 2 times blank is equal to 10. What can you multiply to negative 2 so that the product is 10? Take note, the product is positive. So expect that there are 2 negative factors. So meaning the answer for this negative. Negative, what can you multiply to 2? Negative 2 to make it the product is equal to positive. So meaning that's negative 5. Okay, number 2 or next. It's 25. So what can you multiply to negative 1 and negative 2 so that the product is 50? So we know that 50 is positive. Therefore, there are 2 negative factors here. So meaning 25 is positive. Next, negative 4 times negative 7. Okay, 2 negative factors. 2 is even. So expect that the product is positive. So 4 times 7 is 28. So meaning positive 28. Now, negative 10 times negative 2 times blank is equal to 40. The product is positive. So therefore, there are 2 even. There are 2 negative factors here. So the answer here should be positive. So 10 times 2, that's 20. What can you multiply to 20 so that the product is 40? Of course, 2. The answer is positive 2. Next, negative 4 times blank equals 40. The product is positive. So therefore, there are 2 negative factors. If you have 4, what can you multiply to 4 so that the product is 40? The answer is negative 10. Okay? So, blank times 7 equals negative 28. The product is negative, therefore there's one negative factor here. So what can you multiply to 7 so that the price is 28? So the answer is negative 4. Negative 5 times negative 2 times positive 2 times blank is equal to 20. Take note the product is positive. So meaning there are even negative factors here. So if you have 2, expect that the product here is positive. 5 times 2, 10 times 2, 20. So meaning, what can you multiply to 20 so that the product is 20? Obviously, it's 1, the multiplicative identity. Next, 7 times negative 4 is equal to 4 times negative 1 times blank. 7 times negative 4, that's negative 28. Okay, 4 times negative 1, negative 4. Therefore, what can you multiply to negative 4 so that the product is negative 28? Obviously, it's equal to 7. Next, 2 times 3 times negative 3 times blank is equal to positive 36. The product is positive, therefore, there are even number of negative factors here. If you have 1, so meaning the answer is negative. Okay, so 2 times 3, 6 times 3, 18. What can you multiply to 18 so that the product is 36? Okay, so the answer is okay, 7, the delay. It's negative 2. All right, so 5 times 3 times negative 2. 5 times 3 is 15 times negative 2. Obviously, the answer is negative 30. All right, so any question about our evaluation? All right, let's go to the next. Problem solving. Find the product of the sum of 6 and negative 2 by the difference of negative 3 and 7. Okay, if you try to analyze the problem, this is the application for multiplication of integers because we're here, we're looking for the product. But first, we try to get the sum of 6 and negative 2 and the difference between negative 3 and 7. All right, so here's the solution. Get the sum of 6 and negative 2. All right, so 6 plus negative 2. Can you still recall the rules in adding integers? Opposite in sign or different in sign or different, the addends are with different signs. All you have to do is to subtract. 6 minus 2, that's 4. What's the sign of the larger number? Positive. So therefore, the answer is positive 4. Next, we're going to find the difference between negative 3 and 7. Okay, so this is the subtraction expression. This is equal to negative 3 minus positive 7. Now we're going to convert this to addition expression. So this is equal to negative 3 plus, from subtraction, it will become addition, and from positive 7, so what's the opposite? So it's negative 7. So we are adding negative 3 and negative 7, same sign. All we have to do is to add the numbers and copy the common sign. So 3 plus 7, 10, the common sign is negative. So therefore, this is equal to negative 10. Now, let's go back to the problem. It said that find the product. So meaning we're going to find the product of 4 and negative 10. All right. So 4 times negative 10. What's the product? Okay. Negative 40. All right. So any question? Okay. So I think that's all for today. It's all about multiplication of integers. So if you have questions, you can message me or you can chat me about some clarifications regarding the multiplication of integers. Guys, thank you so much. And don't forget to subscribe to our PUMI channel. This is Sir Ricky. Thank you.